I've been walking for an hour and a half this morning. Started off in rain, so I had my rain jacket and my poncho, and then the heat and the lack of rain, so I took off the jacket and the poncho. Then it rained, so the poncho went back on again. Now it looks like it stopped. Bright blue skies out there. I don't see any clouds on the horizon, so poncho's off. But that serves as a good example to talk to you about what it's like when you're walking. So when it's raining or showery, your jacket or your poncho and or both are on and off like a yo-yo, because the minute it stops raining you get so hot in both of them you have to take them off. And in fact, actually, it's better to just walk with the poncho, not the rain jacket. The same is true of my backpack. So, you know, I carry my water in a water bladder in the backpack. I normally start, or if I think about it, I start with 2 litres of water in the back there, which has a certain weight, which means that when I'm getting my backpack on for the day, I'll tighten the straps to a certain position. But what I've noticed is, as the day goes on, the more water I drink, my backpack will start to squeak. And it's like Chinese torture. You can't walk with a squeaking backpack. So you can't hear it now, can you? But in the afternoons when I've drunk water, squeak, squeak, squeak every step. Go around this side, the sun's in that direction. So I have spent forever adjusting straps, pulling them this way and that way to try and get rid of that blooming squeak. And then half the time you think, was there a squeak this morning? It's just like, was it imagined? Shoes. Put your shoes on, start walking. Well, on flat terrain you can have them quite loose, and I'm always worried about my feet swelling up, and if they're tight then that's when you're going to get blisters. So I start with them loose, but the minute you start going uphill or downhill you need a different tension on the tightness of your shoe, you know, to stop you slipping forward and backwards in them. And when you walk on gravel paths, grit pops up and wiggles its way into your shoe or into your sock. There's always a car when I start to video. Yeah, so grit. Well, you can't actually walk very far with grit in your shoe. A, it's annoying, and B, if you walk very far you know you're going to get a blister or something. But then you spend ages looking for a convenient place to perch while you can take them off, shake everything out and put them back on again. And I can tell you that doesn't just happen once a day, it happens several times a day. So between the poncho and the shoes, it's all very stop, start, stop, start. And then other things, you know, my glasses, I don't like to walk with them on. They're filthy all the time anyway, they have so many fingerprints all over them. And but if I change anything, any setting on my phone, or I need to look in more detail about the map, glasses on, glasses off. So it's a constant changing situation when you're walking. Now here, I'm going to turn this camera around, look at that. See how lovely that is? Lovely blue sky. I have to thank the heavens for dumping all their water. Last night we had a huge storm, both sheet lightning, fault lightning, such loud thunder, the buildings shook. So there was no going out sightseeing or doing anything yesterday. Now I see some pilgrims up ahead. I don't know if you can see them up there. I think they're Spanish people that I've been crossing over with here and there. They're from Marbella. I can't quite remember. I think they might have. They started in Guion, I think. Yeah. In fact, actually, they went to a wedding in Guion, and then the wedding obviously went on all night. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, they left the wedding and started walking. So by the end of their first day, around about tea time, they were dead on their feet. And it takes all sorts. Also, I see that I met someone this morning while I was having breakfast, and he just started in Ribadeo. So that town that I've just left is obviously a starting point. So I've got 7 walking days left, and he's taking 10 days from there to get to Santiago. So he'll be doing the same distance as me today, walking to Lourenzá. But then after that, he'll obviously do shorter days than me, or he'll take rest days or something. But that's what they're doing, you know. They just take holidays and walk sections. Isn't this lovely? You see, I'm a bit out of breath because we're climbing. But that's the good thing about today's climb. We did climb up to about 600 or 700 metres, but it's over 5 kilometres. So it's a gradual climb all the way. Oh, nice day today, eh? Right, here we are, almost midday, 10 to 12. No food today. I've got about 10 kilometres to go. I think I've done about 15 or 16 kilometres. There's a couple of pilgrims there in front of me. Yeah, getting a bit hungry. All I've got in my backpack to eat is a few dried apricots, the good old dried apricots. Actually, that's what, it's a bit annoying, you know. It doesn't matter how much you plan and read up on things, you can never be sure when one of these blooming fiesta days is going to hit you. So like yesterday, I didn't know there was a fiesta day in Ribadeo. So of course when I got there, everything's shut. Even the supermarkets, you know, even the supermarkets in the UK on a bank holiday, some things open. Alright, so no supermarket open anywhere, and I knew there was no food on the route today. So, you know, what do? I have to be ready with my bag at 8 o'clock, and funnily enough today, I was ready at 8 as usual, but today I actually saw Correas come and pick my bag up at 8:05. So you have to be there in case they are coming at 8. But the supermarket didn't open until about 9:30. So even though I stayed and I had breakfast, so I left and I started walking at 8:30, there's still an hour before the supermarket opened. So, you know, almost you have to plan like 2 or 3 days in advance to have some kind of snacks on you. 3 o'clock, I've walked 26 kilometres, and that is my destination, Lourenzá. The bells have just started to ring. So after complaining about no food stops, there was a place at around about 20, let's say 19 or 20 kilometres, and it was so nice. And in fact, we all were so looking forward to stopping somewhere that everyone who was on the road today stopped there, and we all kind of were there around about the same sort of time. So it was the first time that it's actually been really sociable. It was almost like a little party.